Right, so getting right into this clown look, I'm just gluing my brows down so I can cover them. And to do this, all you need is a glue stick and some concealer, which I didn't actually show putting on the concealer, but after I put on the powder, I went ahead and did a couple of layers of concealer, and then I put on more powder, and then I just covered it with white paint. And as you can see, I already sketched out where the neck is gonna go. So all I do is just cover my face and my neck area with some white paint. This is the Mehron Paradise paints, which are my favorite water activated paints to use for my creative looks. Mehron also has Clown White, which is like a cream paint, and it's also really good obviously for a clown look, but I prefer the water activated paints. They do tend to crack a little bit because they're really drying, but at the same time they're really good, and I don't know, it just made this look come together really well. And now I'm just using the Norvina. I think this is the Volume 1 palette. I think it's the Volume 1, I'm not sure. I'm just taking a darker purple shade. It's like a medium tone purple, and I'm contouring with this. I end up going in later with like a dark black purple kind of situation. But now I'm just using a pink shade to like add some blush. I decided the color scheme I wanted for this clown is purple and pink. So that's basically like all the colors that I'm using throughout this entire look. And I'm just doing my normal base makeup the way I normally would, except it's just with some color. And then I'm going to contour my nose using the same exact shades that I used on my cheeks, and that's pretty much all I do for the base makeup. I also contour my neck and just create like these two little lines where my neck lines would be, I guess, basically. It just gives the face more dimension and the neck more dimension. I also kind of outline the bottom of my neck, and that's, I'm going to do more shading and details after, I guess, just to make sure that it looks a little bit more 3D and just has some dimension. Moving on to eyeshadow, I'm taking the black from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and it's like a purple black. It's not like a true black, and I'm just packing that on the lid. I do end up going in later with a pigment, and then I'm just taking the same purple I took as a contour shade on my cheeks, and I'm just like buffing that out, making sure that it actually looks like good eyeshadow. And basically that's pretty much it. Like, I do the transition shade and I'm just like blending really well, and I actually end up like taking the contour line into the crease as well. And this is the pigment I was talking about. This is from Body Cosmetics. I'm not sure if it was limited edition, but I did get it last year for Halloween, and it has like some purple, green, gold vibes. Like, it's totally a Halloween pigment. It's amazing. And then I took like a purple shade from the Anastasia palette, and I just used it as a highlight, and I also highlighted in my inner corner. Now I'm just sketching out the little design that I'm doing for the clown, and I did get this inspo. I forget her name, but I'll have her Instagram link down below because I did get heavy inspo from her for this look. And I just sketched it out first, and I used a brow pencil that no longer matches my brow hair since my hair is black now. But I'm using the Suva Beauty. I think this is grape soda. That's the only purple paint I have. Like, the Mehron ones that I buy that are called purple are just way too light. I wanted like a darker purple shade to go here. So that's really the only purple I had. So this is what I ended up using. And I ended up mixing some shades to like do the rest of the purples that I needed, because the purples just aren't like the right kind of purple. But anyway, I'm just basically filling them in with that color, the little design, I guess the clown design, I don't know what to call this. And then I go ahead and outline it with a black paint because it just gives it more dimension and it just makes it stand out a little bit more, so that's what I want to do. By the way, the paint brushes I am using are all from Dollar Tree. It is absolutely amazing, the deals that I found. I mean, not deals, but like the amazing quality of these paint brushes. Like the one that I'm using right now is very good for detail work. It's very small and tiny, and it does everything really precisely, and it was only $1, so I'm shocked. Now I'm just taking more of that black shade I took on my lid, and I'm just like making it seem more dimensional, blending the colors together. Just, you know, adding some artistry to it so it's not just plain and boring. And then I just highlight using a white paint, and I just kind of did like a line on one side, another line on the other side, and another line toward the top, just in places where you would normally highlight. And now I'm just doing the splatter technique just to make it look more like messy, and I just really like the splatter look in this area, so that's kind of what I decided to do. And I'm just adding like a wing liner situation, and I did it with using black paint, and I just added some lines under the eyes to give it more of that clown effect. And that's, again, heavy inspo from this Instagram account I'll have linked down below, because this is like not a normal clown look. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm adding cracks in random places on my forehead. And I do this throughout, but I was just going section by section just because of the TikTok I was filming, which, yeah, you should go check out my TikTok because I'm pretty proud of those TikToks that I did. And I just wanted to do them section by section. And now I'm just doing the nose, and I just decided to use a pink paint for this, and that is the Mehron pink paint, I'm pretty sure. And I outline it too just to give it more dimension. Also add a white line of highlight as well. Oh yeah, before I do the highlight though, I do take some shading on the outer part of the nose just to make it more dimensional and more clown-like, I guess. I start with the black paint and then I take some black shadow. And I also shaded by my Cupid's bow just to give it more dimension as well. Moving on to the clown lips, I did sketch out before I went in with paint just because I like to do that. I don't know, I just get freaked out. I just wanted to make sure I got the shape that I wanted exactly. And then I go in with the same paint I took on the clown part above my brows, I guess. It's the Suva paint. I don't recommend this. I recommend getting the lip color that you want because it's kind of hard to work with paint on the lips and it was very drying. And then I just added some dimension. I also outlined it, which I forgot to record, I think, and added more cracks around and just a bunch of details and stuff. I also added the white paint for the highlight, and I did the splatter technique again because I wanted it, and I think it got on my eyeball there. If you can see, that was funny. For the clown collar, I'm taking the pink paint I took on my nose as well. Again, just the purple and pink vibe, and I'm just like filling that in pretty much, and it's just very basic when you have to fill it in. It's just, you have to get there with the details, and I added some of the purple paint just to outline the kind of like shape that I wanted for the collar. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And I added some white paint just to give it more dimension, and I ended up blending it out, and I ended up using like a white shadow instead because it just wasn't like doing what I wanted to do. It wasn't blending out as well as I wanted with just the paint. Totally didn't record this part, but on top of the collar, I just kind of took some black paint and added lines, and it just kind of like makes the whole look come together. I also outlined the actual collar, like where I put the purple, and in a little bit, but I'm doing some shading here to make it look more 3D. Shading is the way it's going to look 3D. If you don't shade, it's not going to look 3D. It's going to look like a cartoon. And yeah, I'm just outlining here and yeah, just adding more dimension. Kind of fixing the lines because I made them a little taller in some places, longer in some places, and shorter in other places. And it just makes it look more put together, more 3D, more realistic, I guess. Now I'm just going in with more shading with that purple / black eyeshadow and just doing them on the corners of the collar, like each little section. And then actually in the smaller sections in the middle, I take pretty much the entire thing of shadow. You're going to see in a second. I did go in with white shadow there, if you can see, and just helped make the highlight pop a little bit more, I guess. It makes it look more 3D, I guess, basically. And I just wanted to make the smaller sections look more 3D and adding more cracks. I did the splatter technique again. I just really like that. It makes it look a little bit messy, like unkept, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted this clown to not be as glam as the clown I did last year. Totally didn't get the purple paint that I did for the rest of my body. I don't know why I didn't record that, but I just mixed a couple of Mehron paints and just got my perfect shade of purple. And I wanted it to be lighter than the purple that was on my face, I guess. And I'm just doing some more shading, making the collar look 3D, as well as making it look like I'm actually wearing like a shirt situation kind of thing. And just, yeah, adding more shading. And then I go in with the same paint that I took on my face, which is a Suva paint. And I just painted some dots. I actually went in with some glitter, but I don't think I recorded that either. I'm like a hot mess, I know. But when I'm filming, this was an hour and a half worth of recording, and it took me 5 hours to do this look. It was insane. I also wasn't in frame for this part, but I just basically draw like a bunch of lines to make the little poof thing look like a poof. And yeah, I just took some white paint and some black paint and just, yeah, made it look like a poof, made it look three-dimensional. All products will be linked down below, including my wig, which I got from Amazon. I really hope you enjoyed this clown look. Let me know what other looks you want to see this Halloween season. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.